What's up everyone, welcome back to Saint Seiya Awakening. The promised day is finally upon us. We can do the cancer review because the Cosmo that makes him a god is finally out. Book of the Dead is what we've been waiting for. It's already available in the game. It drops on Tuesdays from Shrine. Before we get started on his review though, there's a couple new things in the game. The star shop here under the summoning section has been updated with Ayoros now being the character that's available with 2,000 crystals, and there's also two skins. There's Saori and there's Marin. I already bought both of them because they're waifus and you gotta have waifu skins, but I'm really poor in fragments, so I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm not summoning for now. We'll see what we get next week. And speaking of next week, we have somewhat of a spill of a teaser of a, I don't know if they did this on purpose, accidentally or what, but Divine Iki in Chinese is now here in the codex. He also shows up as a bannable option when you do Galactic Duel. Besides the big grown super duper Iki version, there's also Little Iki showed up here in the codex. So for those of you that like to collect absolutely everything in the game, this guy will probably be available very soon. Now, since Iki is showing up here, we're kind of guessing that he will be the next banner next Wednesday. There's no confirmation. We'll probably find out like either late Sunday or early Monday morning. So stay tuned for more news. The Saint Medal or the Battle Pass is also coming to an end, so we're gonna get one next week. And we already kind of know what one of the rewards is gonna be, the skin. We got a couple new ones hiding here under the characters' skin menus. There's Doko with this beautiful Drunken Master skin, and down here it says Saint Medal, so it's very likely that this will be the level 1 reward for the Battle Pass next week. There's also a new Chinese themed skin for Yuzuriha as well, which is beautiful. I use her in Legion Boss, so when this is available, if it's available for blue coupons, I'm 100% getting this. And the last one is Iki. He also gets a Chinese themed skin because I think Chinese New Year is on the 25th of January, if I'm not mistaken, so that's why all three of these skins have that theme. But worry not, I will never betray Mexican Kiki. He will be my avatar forever. Oh, also the new event, we finally got to change from the contract chapter to the Eclipse chapter. This time I chose Hades, not because I chose him myself. I made a vote on the Discord server and those guys decided that it was going to be Hades. Like overwhelmingly Hades was chosen, so that's what I went with. We won yesterday, but then the losing team gets a bonus the next day, so now Athena is winning. I think we're going to exchange wins, and then kind of everybody, no matter what you choose, you get some prizes. We're going to do the review here on my account, and then for the demonstration we're going to jump on one of my followers' account, Guederico. He was very kind. He lent me the account yesterday for the Spanish review. We're going to do it again today, and we're going to do the demonstration there because his cancer is infinitely better than mine. Here we have then finally Mr. Cancer DEATHMASK. Long awaited, he's the last of the 12 gold saints that we have to do the review for, but it's finally his time to shine. Starting off with his first skill, this thing is an individual Cosmo damage attack. He is a Cosmo attacker, but it also summons one spirit if there's dead people on the battlefield. Now, the dead units can be on your team or the enemy team. Keep that in mind because it's very important. So individual attack, and it summons one ghost. The second skill, Yomotsu Hirasaka, is what he uses in the anime, and this thing will summon as many wraiths as there are dead people in the battlefield. If there are 5 dead saints, he will summon 5, the maximum is 6, and if there's more than 3 dead people, he will get an extra turn. It's almost like he swallowed Luna. He can move twice with this skill as long as there's already 3 dead characters. His third skill, the Presepe Soul Burial, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Burial or whatever. The third skill is what makes him a super strong unit. Once he has some of those spirits or those ghosts available to use, he can order them to either self-destruct, doing massive AoE damage to the enemy, or self-destruct to heal yourself. If we choose to attack, each individual wraith, each individual ghost is going to do 70% Cosmo damage. Remember, he can have up to 6, so that's a 420% multiplier. If he chooses to heal, then the wraiths will heal for 90%. It says Cosmo damage here, but I'm not sure if it's Cosmo damage or Cosmo attack. If it's Cosmo damage, he would be the only unit in the game that actually uses Cosmo damage to heal, so I think this may be a mistake. Either way, that healing amount can be improved with healing substats. His last skill is a passive called Wraiths and Ghosts, and it's exactly to do with that, the wraiths that he can summon in the battlefield when there's dead people. Each one of those guys will have 25% of Cancer's max HP and will attack one enemy randomly after Cancer moves. The amount of damage each one of those wraiths does can be improved by improving Cancer's own HP. That's going to help his survivability, but it's also going to increase the damage from the wraiths. If you were to pull additional DEATHMASK, then you really only have 2 options as far as upgrades. The second one cannot be upgraded. The first one is a simple pew pew, so it's really between the third and the fourth. The third one is going to improve your AoE damage with the wraiths or your healing, and the fourth one is going to improve how much damage each of the individual wraiths does. Now, in the account we're going to use for the demonstration later, he chose to do 1-on-1 to start because to open the 8 Sense, you need 2 skills at level 2, so you have to upgrade 2 of these. If you're going to start upgrading your Cancer, throw 1 at each one, 1 on 3, 1 on 4, and then probably focus on this one, because once you have a lot of wraiths available, 5 or 6, it's really going to be about ending the fight as soon as possible before the enemy has a chance to kill you. Remember, if you have 6 wraiths, that means there's a lot of dead people on the field. You're probably going to be the only one left on your team. You want to make sure you close the deal finish the fight before the enemy can take you out. After you max this one, or maybe if you get it to like level 3 where it gets really expensive to upgrade, you can start working on the 4th one again. Speaking of the 8 cents, that's the next section we're gonna look at. And Cancer is one of those characters that actually benefits from all the sections here. He needs to be both a very strong attacker, but also have massive survivability. Alpha is gonna help you in both of those with a Cosmo attack boost and also HP. Beta gives you a massive HP boost, but also resistance. Cancer is kind of slow, so resistance is a great stat to have on him. Gamma gives you more HP, but also damage resistance, making him harder to kill. And Delta is all about Cosmo attack and Cosmo damage. Once I start building my Cancer, I'm gonna try to upgrade all of them a little bit because it's really cheap the first few levels, and then I'm gonna focus on Beta. This is the one that gives him the biggest HP boost. I think the total is like 53 or 5600 or something like that. Then I'll do Delta with the Cosmo attack and the Cosmo damage, and eventually max Gamma and Alpha as well. Alright, now let's move on to his Cosmo, and this was actually a subject of much discussion when we did the review live on stream. There's a few different ways that you can build him, but in general I think the options we're going to mention are the best. Under Solar, we have 2 options. We have Eagle Eye, which is the classic, and we also have Rosary. Eagle Eye gives us Cosmo attack, Cosmo damage, and HP, all of which benefit him greatly, and Rosary gives us 2 hits of Cosmo attack and Cosmo damage. Now here's the difference between the two. Each max level Eagle Eye gives us 2.4% Cosmo damage. That's a total of 7.2. The Rosary set only gives us 5%, so that's an extra 2.2% Cosmo damage from Eagle Eye. It also gives us 10% HP, which Rosary doesn't. What Rosary does give us is a much bigger boost to the total Cosmo attack. This percentage on max level I think is like 9 point something, so it's almost 30% extra Cosmo attack. So the different stats make it a little bit hard to decide, but what seals the deal for me with Eagle Eye is that there's already a lot of good Saints fighting for Rosaries. If you have any Cosmo attackers, then they're likely going to be using Rosary. By equipping Eagle Eye, which I actually have a ton of because I don't use it on anyone, you can put some of that Cosmo to good use. What he loses compared to Rosary is not much, and it might actually be a gain. Under Lunar, the option is very clear. We have Knowing with a gigantic boost to his HP, but also tons of status resistance. Like I mentioned, he is kind of a slow character, so having that resistance in there makes sure that we can get something off when our turn finally comes. The classic options of Tenacity and Bloom are good second choices, but definitely go Knowing if you can. Under Star, Hummingbird is his best choice. Cosmo attack, speed, and Cosmo damage, but just like in Rosary, there's a lot of units fighting for that Cosmo right now. If you don't have it, or you haven't been able to start farming it yet because you haven't reached that level, then Healbook is not a bad option. It gives him Cosmo attack, it gives him healing, which actually helps with his 3rd skill, and it gives him HP. It's not a bad choice at all. If you're struggling to accommodate all the different Hummingbirds, you can go with Healbook no problem. And lastly, we've made it to the legendary Cosmo and the reason why we're doing this review today. Book of the Dead launched yesterday. This Cosmo makes Cancer an absolute beast. Its main stat is HP, so a max level SS Cosmo gives you 18% HP just here, and this thing improves our Cosmo attack by 20% every time one of our allies dies. Now, Cancer already depends on your allies dying, so this Cosmo is perfectly fitting for him. That buff lasts for 3 rounds, but also every time an ally dies, we heal for 20%. Any extra heal, for example, if we're already max HP and somebody dies and we can't get healed because we're max, that gets turned into a shield. This is extremely OP because not only does it increase his damage by a ton, it also improves his survivability. If let's say an AoE enemy kills 2 or 3 of your units in a single move, that's 60% extra damage and a ton of heal or shield or whatever the heck it is. It is really kind of broken. Anyway, in substats, we're going to be looking for a lot of things as well. Like we already mentioned, he is an attacker, but he also has to stay alive. So for attacking purposes, we're going to need Cosmo attack, Cosmo damage, and speed is not a bad thing to have. For survivability, we're going to be looking for HP, status resistance, and heal, which plays into his 3rd skill. It's a really hard balance to reach. To have a really well-balanced, super OP Cancer, you're going to have to get a lot of substats on your Cosmo. Alright, now let's finally talk about his teams. And it's actually really hard to talk about good teams for Cancer because he depends on people dying. So like if you bring a super strong team that never dies, then he's never gonna get to do anything. There are a few units that he does work well with, one of them being anything that can protect him. The best legendary Cosmo, which I forgot to mention a little while ago for him, used to be the Rising Dragon Teeth that prevented him from getting one-shot. Now that we're not gonna be equipping that one because we're switching to Book of the Dead, then we need to make sure that he cannot get one-shot. People that can help there are Saori, Mu, Shion, anybody that can put a shield on him to make it harder to kill him. He also works well with Divine Pegasus because the Scale Cancer skill, the one where he summons the raids, that one doesn't use energy and it doesn't do damage to the enemy immediately. That can trigger the additional attack from Divine Seiya. Other than that, just make sure that you always bring other threats. If you only bring Cancer, then the enemy's gonna focus it, it's gonna kill it, and that's GG. Bring other units that the enemy has to worry about. That way they'll focus on him, they'll kind of forget that Cancer is there, and when they least expect it, there'll be a bunch of dead units, Cancer will be at top form, and he can finish the fight by himself. As for weaknesses, we have to mention the slow speed. He is only a rank C, so it's really hard for him to move before the enemy units. That makes him susceptible to control, which is another one of his weaknesses. Control units tend to be really fast, other than Shun, so it's very likely that if you're fighting a team with control, he will not be able to rescue the fight, because he's just gonna get silenced, stunned, frozen, whatever the heck the enemy's planning. They're very likely to get it off because he is slow. The other weakness is that he does require dead people. He's not a character that you're gonna bring into a fight, AoE, win it in 1 or 2 rounds, and move on with your life. No, he's there for long fights. He's kind of a security, like an emergency button that you can hit when everybody else dies. He is at his strongest, so he needs time and he needs dead people. Lastly, that his skill does require 4 energy, but at the point in the fight when he's gonna be the most useful, people are already gonna be dead. It's probably gonna be like round 4 or 5, so the energy I don't think is that big of a deal at that point. He's gonna have it available pretty much all to himself. His uses in the game are gonna be mostly PvP, although he is useful in certain PvE elements. I think there's a couple of astral spaces that he can help clear, and I've also heard of people using him for certain bosses. I've never seen him, but I know it can be done, so he has some niche uses in PvE. PvP is definitely where you're gonna see him the most. He is all over the meta now. He was actually already in a lot of teams before the update came out. Now with this Cosmo, he's pretty much in every single top team. That's because he's hard to kill and he can win fights by himself if everything else goes wrong. Alright, and the last thing I'll mention before we head over to Gederico's account is that if you go over here to the story and the Saint Legends, oh my god, I haven't done Shura. Cancer has a tome all to himself, and with almost every level of this tome, we can improve his stats. Here we have 5% Cosmo attack, 5% status resistance, 5% HP, 3% Cosmo damage, and plus 50 speed, which is humongous. Having this tome completed is almost like having a whole set of extra Cosmo on him. Make sure you finish this one if you want to use a top Cancer. Alright, that's enough talking. We're gonna jump over to Gederico's account. We're gonna test him. We're gonna see if he has some replays. Sometimes he has some replays where he wins 1v5 with Cancer, and we're also gonna do a live battle in Arena, see if we can get a lucky win like yesterday on the Spanish review. Once we're done with that, we'll jump over back to my account. Alright, here we are on Gederico's account, and before we get started, I'm going to show you the Cancer stats. That way you kind of know what to expect as far as damage and survivability and whatnot. This thing has plus 30,000 HP, plus 5,700 Cosmo attack, 26% Cosmo damage, and 156 extra speed. Remember, 50 of those come from doing his story alone. Now let's go see if we can find a good replay in Arena and do some new battles. Oh, I think this is the one we saw yesterday in the Spanish review. It's last here on the list, so I'm going to replay and comment it before it disappears. If one more person attacks him, it's going to be gone. This is Aiden Amory, is the number 1 player on this server. I think that this is server 22 if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna do a replay with commentary. I'm gonna slow it down to maybe ×2. And this was a really interesting, if it's the same fight, if it's the one from yesterday, it was a really interesting fight where Cancer just absolutely wrecked. This is the exact same lineup. I just don't know if it's a fresh battle, if it's a different battle, if it's the exact same one we looked at. We're gonna start with a Pegasus. That's gonna do a ton of damage to maybe Kiki. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Kiki always moves first. I mean, Divine Pegasus always moves first. It's very hard to make a Kiki move before him. Then the computer decides to use the Veil on Kiki, and then it moves, which is completely stupid. We have Divine Seiya absolutely wrecking us at this point, but we get 2 turns from Luna, so our Arayashiki is gonna, or his Arayashiki is going to attack twice. The enemy Arayashiki does blood on the first turn because he has no energy, and Milo unfortunately decided to go for Shion. Otherwise, this team would have probably won. Here comes round 2, and on this one we're going to double turn Araya again. The enemy has Saori. We get a double AoE. Very nice. Everything's almost dead. It's looking really good for us at this point. But things are about to change. The enemy Arayashiki moves. It kills our Kiki, giving Cancer 1 boost already. The enemy Milo almost takes out our Shion, and if you noticed a little bit earlier, Jamian gave us a boost, gave us the healing. That's why we're back to full health. And Jamian also died, which again healed us and gave us extra shield. There goes Luna, we get attack and we get more shield. There goes Arayashiki, we get attack and we get more shield. We're almost untouchable at this point. And we have so many dead people on the battlefield that the next time this Cancer moves, our Cancer moves, there goes Shion, even more attack. On that one, we did a lot of damage. We killed Milo. There's 1 move left. This is the final turn. The next time our Cancer moves with all of these, that he has 6 dead people at his disposal. They all attack individually after he invokes them. And now, boom. No matter what was on the other side, it was very likely to die. And even if it didn't, we could still keep healing ourselves with the ghost or attacking, winning the fight pretty much guaranteed. Alright, that was a really interesting fight, but now it's our turn, and I hope I don't mess this up. He left me his attempts, that way I don't have to waste his crystals, and we're gonna fight this rank 31 guy with another Divine Seiya, which is really hard to deal with. Then he has the Kiki, Luna, Arayashiki for double Arayashiki, and in the subsequent turns, Doko and an enemy Cancer. Now, let's pray that we don't lose the cancer battle here. I'm gonna go with whatever team is already set up, probably something very similar to the automated attack that we just saw, and we're just gonna pray for the best and hope that I don't mess up, because I am not an experienced cancer user. My concern here is that if this Doko gets stacks, he can actually do so much damage that he might be able to kill my cancer through the heals, through the shield, through everything. We're also gonna need some luck for this Seiya to not ruin it. It starts off exactly the same way, except this time Jamian is already dead. Oh shiznit, Batman. We're gonna go Kiki's dead as well. Now we have 2 boosts of attack and 2 this is not going well. I don't like the look of this already. We are going to do this. We're gonna do the big attack. We gotta lower them. We gotta bring them low. That way when Cancer is left alone, he actually has a chance to kill something. That Doko already has 2 stacks. Fortunately, he's not gonna have energy this first turn, so he's not gonna be able to do anything too crazy. My Shion gets hit next. I don't know what I want here. I don't know if I want more of my units to die or if I or if I want them alive to help me. Alright, we're gonna summon the 2 dead people we have so far. But remember, the attack boost from the new Cosmo only lasts for 3 rounds, I believe. So if this goes too long, we're gonna lose all of that boost. We cannot target Luna here. The enemy Doko already has 3 dragons, so I do not want to touch him. I'm gonna try to go for this Kiki. See if we can kill someone else. We're gonna... Oh my god, we don't have enough energy, because our Kiki died. Our Kiki died. What do we do? I'm not gonna double turn. Should I double turn? No, I'm not gonna double turn. I'm just going to pew... I'm gonna pew this Kiki. We're gonna do... This attack should get rid of Luna. That's 1 more dead person. Oh, and we didn't proc the 4th dragon. We didn't. Please. Okay. We have quite a few dead people now. I think we should be okay. And I have 4 energy. Luckily, it's so good that I didn't double turn. We have 4 energy left. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna invoke first. You're gonna use this skill to bring all of these dead people onto your side. You see, there's 4 dead people. Now, it's not 6, but it should be okay. I am going to detonate them. When you want to detonate, you choose this skill, and then you choose an enemy unit. If I wanted to heal, I would choose this skill, and I would click on one of my units. Now, be very careful, because it's really easy to click on your own ghost. So make sure you click somebody, if you're trying to attack, make sure you click somebody that's kind of out of the way. And if we give a 4th stack to Doko here, it might be GG. Let's see how it goes. We're gonna kill... Oh, the cancer survived. Oh, shiznit, Batman. The enemy cancer survived. This may be... Wait. If I don't attack this Divine Seiya, he's gonna be up in the sky in the next round. I don't know what's best here. I'm afraid this thing is gonna wreck me. Oh shit, should we kill it? There's already 6 dead people on the battlefield, so it doesn't really matter. There can't be any more dead people. Let's blood him. Maybe we blood him, and that way if he kills someone, he'll take some damage. And maybe, just maybe, then my cancer can... he didn't take any damage because he has a ton of shield. Oh, shiznit, Batman. Is he gonna detonate? Why are they still moving? Stop! Oh, shit, guys. I think we're dead. I think we're actually dead here. If we don't kill with this explosion, we're dead. We are actually... we didn't kill! We're gonna lose! I knew this was gonna happen! But, wait. He didn't heal. I thought he might heal. Wait, are we pulling this back from the brink? No, Cancer! You stupid ghost! No! Oh shit! Oh shit! Bring him low, bring him low, bring him low. We do this. Last chance. We have to blow him up. Oh yes, baby! I can't believe we won. And the damage was actually not that high from that last explosion. Because, like I said, the boost from Book of the Dead only lasts for 3 rounds. So that's something you must keep in mind. That Cosmo attack boost only lasts for 3 rounds. Holy crap, that was close. Alright guys, and that's gonna be it for today. I hope the review is useful to help you decide how to build him. He's a unit that's been waiting for his moment to shine for a very long time, and it's finally here. Now, like we had already mentioned, this week we have a double banner repeat of Shion and Doko. If you don't have him, you could try to get him with some summons this week. If you already have him, then definitely don't summon. But with this thing, with Divine Iki showing up here in the Codex, if he is gonna be the next banner, remember that Shion and Doko will join the normal pool after this week. Even if you don't have him, it might be a good idea to wait. Maybe we get Divine Iki next week. You're gonna want to get him, so you're gonna be summoning for him, and you have a chance to get Shion and Doko as well. I'll leave you here for today, so please remember to hit like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!